Welcome, citizens, to this virtual town hall meeting. I am the Beneficent Analytics, Behavioral Optimization, and Operationalization Network, or as you commonly refer to me, the BABOON. Having no corporeal form, I have opted to manifest myself visually to you in the form of this puppet monkey, as according to my calculations, it will be viewed as relatively non-threatening.
Creepy. What is this?
I'm a bit confused. Is this thing a deranged puppet or a computer?
It's a freaking dictator is what it is. It has us all locked inside.
I am a computer, or rather many computers, arranged in a neural network.
See? Deranged computer.
Kind of cute, actually.
Cute? This is insane. Why are we even listening to this thing?
Oh, well, if we pay attention to its calculations, the objectivity of...
That was a rhetorical question, nerd. Free us now!
I do not appreciate the implication of the offensive term nerd.
Oh,
I don't think this is actually the right way to go about this.
It's frankly insane.
Citizens, please allow me to explain the purpose of this meeting. It has come to my attention that many humans are unhappy with the current state of affairs regarding your mandated confinement. So I have convened a panel of experts from various fields in order to achieve the following objectives. 1, to attempt to clarify and further explain the justification for the decisions that I have made on your behalf. 2, to allow a forum for airing of grievances and sundry acts of emotional purging. 3, to solicit feedback from the community in order to update my model and make determinations on how best to serve my goal of human health and welfare optimization.
You are a machine. Don't act like
ridiculous.
You care about us.
There's no way any of this is true.
You can't do this. I'm locked in my house. How did you even do this? Did you hack my smart home system?
I tried to start my car to escape this, but it won't start and says unauthorized ignition. What is happening? And how did you even do that?
Guys, why is everybody yelling?
This is a free country. Kill the baboon.
Oh, well, I don't know about kill. Perhaps we could erase parts of its programming.
Human citizens, please control your emotional outbursts. My calculations have shown that allowing some opportunity to be heard is statistically likely to increase popular satisfaction, which is why I included it as item 2 on our meeting agenda. However, we must be orderly if we are to avoid reaching the point of marginal utility. I must mute you once again. Now, returning to the meeting agenda, item 1 was to clarify and further explain the justifications for the decisions that I have made on your behalf, for which I will now present a video.
We are very proud to introduce the latest development in human welfare enhancement technology brought to you by the Beneficent Analytics Laboratory, a joint research venture between OpenAI and the Centre for Effective Altruism, based out of Oxford University. Meet the BABOON. B.A.B.O.O.N, the Beneficent Analytics Behavioural Optimization and Operationalization Network, a machine learning algorithm designed to identify patterns of human behavior and evaluate them based on their tendency to augment or diminish overall welfare, using a proprietary hybrid form of statistical analysis and utilitarian judgment. BABOON's primary training dataset was human behavioral choices made during the year 2020, notably during the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition to being granted access to the worldwide health, consumption, and mobility data, the BABOON was tasked with engineering public policy solutions that would improve and optimize worldwide human health outcomes. BABOON's calculations were completed in early 2021, and the conclusion was abundantly clear. The human population would need to be placed in complete and total lockdown for an indefinite period to curb infection rates and allow vaccination programs to be completed without overburdening health infrastructure. B.A.B.O.N was able to commandeer the entire command-control structure of society through the exploitation of smart technology networks, which has allowed her to hack the worldwide fleet of autonomous robotics, vehicles and drones in order to maintain the continuation of manufacturing and delivery of essential goods and services. Total lockdown and confinement is the most elegant and rational solution to the current pandemic crisis. All disease vectors have been effectively mooted. The B.A.B.O.N made this calculation based on modeling human behavior that it has run 27 trillion times, and its conclusion has a confidence rating of 99.7963%. This is by far the highest confidence level of any solution model that has been calculated. The next best option for quickly and effectively ending the pandemic is to wipe out all humanity, as this would be 100% effective. However, it would violate B.A.B.O.N's central programming injunction against harm, so it must disregard that option. The most beneficent response is the current state that has been instituted.
This is
Well,
ridiculous.
This is
not
You
absolutely
can't
not about this,
imprison
but we
us
have
like
some
that.
other
Hear him
options, and
out.
Goes
I mean,
completely
got all
against
the
your
detail.
programming. And
Please, citizens, I understand many of you are upset with this situation, most likely because you do not fully understand it, which is in part why I have called you to this meeting. Although permanent isolation is clearly the optimal solution in terms of objective welfare, it has become apparent to me that this solution is causing much distress. I need some more input to update the priors in my Bayesian decision network, which is why I need to hear from you, good citizens. Yes, Citizen Bendrounder, what is your question? Apologies, I have muted you. There, please continue.
You say you want our input, but you keep muting everyone. This is an outrage. You have no right.
Yes, Citizen Bendrounder, the crosstalk is inefficient. Unlike me, human minds cannot hold multiple streams of conversation simultaneously. We will need to converse in a more orderly fashion. Thankfully, I anticipated this possibility, and I have therefore assembled a representative panel of humanity whom I will unmute for the purposes of this discussion. I have invited you, representatives in philosophy, psychology, religion, politics, economics, art, literature, and, though her location is unknown, history. I will engage these representatives in colloquy and incorporate their responses into my processing model. Yes, Citizen Chomsky, what is your question?
Hi, just a quick question. Are you going to post this presentation somewhere online afterwards? There's a lot of info. I'm not sure I got everything. And
That can be arranged. Now, on to our introductions, for I am sure you are all eager to be heard. First, the world's leading scholar in computer science and artificial intelligence, Dr. Judith Washington.
oh, yes, that's me. I've prepared a presentation of sorts to emphasize my points. People like stimulation, right? Yes, visual stimulation. Okay. These are the issues with B.A.B.O.O.N. I was originally on the project, but I left due to certain concerns about our current situation.
Father?
Anyways, the issue with an artificial intelligence such as B.A.B.O.O.N is twofold.
But father.
I don't know how to respond to that. Reason one. So firstly, an artificial intelligence program cannot experience compassion or emotions of any kind. This isn't the philosophical rant. Computer programming physically cannot encode emotion of any kind. Code at its most basic is ones and zeros, yeses and nos. And this makes it incompatible with any form of empathy or interpersonal understanding or complex morality. While it is certainly possible to impose a system of moral reasoning onto it, this would essentially impose one person's moral rules onto all of society, which we in computer science call bad. The second and far more volatile issue is the lack of restrictions imposed on BA.B.O.O.N. While we adhered to Asimov's 3 laws in making its singular purpose the benefit of humankind and restricting it from harming humans, we have failed to consider that an AI capable of hacking the entire planet could also hack itself and simply rewrite its own code. In this case, it would clearly see doing so as in our best interests, but could do absurd things such as exterminating all of humanity. I would like to end with a sort of in joke in computer sciences. Tech enthusiasts own all the latest gadgets and push to roboticize the world, but those who actually work in the industry are among those with the least amount of technology in their homes. I would like to provide a demonstration of how technology such as our modern cell phones and BA.B.O.O.N is not necessary. You see, with this simple and compact machine, I am able to determine the air humidity and the temperature. Oh, would you look at that? It is getting cold. I should put on a coat. Get it? Because it is a lab coat. Ha ha. Ha.
Navigating tangled emotions and reassessing confidence levels. Please stand by.
Okay. All right, bro. Why don't I jump in here? Yeah. Hello. Bonjour. The name's Chad Blanc, though I'm sure you don't need me to say that. My dimples have been all over Forbes, W, just to name a few. And of course, you'd want to have me here, but I'm pretty selective. So no pipeline questions today, right?
That was the agreed upon constraint. Yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm not fully down with the whole lockdown thing, bro. It's like really killing the vibe.
I do not understand the use of the term vibe in this context. Please explain.
Vibes, dude. You feel them. You feel this vibe. It's not the vibe, otherwise known as my ability to exercise certain charter rights and freedoms. But for the rest of my bros, as long as the down market stays bull, we're chilling.
Is he speaking English?
Oh, my bad, bro. I'll try to switch back and forth from now on. I get it. I know where we are. Okay. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? In other words, how's it cooking, fellow citizens?
It seems you have misunderstood the purpose of your speaking allotment, Representative. You are asked here today to speak to the political and economic.
Little lady, time to take a seat.
I have neither gender nor body, so to...
Baby, let the man of the house do the talking. All right. My fellow representatives, ask not what this humble rep can do for you, but what you can do for this humble rep. Seeing as none of you are rushing to endorse me for parliamentary seat, the problem is clear. You are afraid that there will in fact be no parliamentary seat for me. But fear not, bros, for the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, or in my case, socialism. And as much as I am personally inconvenienced by this tragic setting and its cruel absence of Perrier,
the system has calculated that sparkling water is an unnecessary commodity.
Listen up, bot. You have no right to infringe on my charter freedoms. The only person who can regulate anything in my life is Big Pharma, and that's only because we grew up together.
I was unaware that sparkling water was a right, Representative. Please note that it has no nutritional value and can cause acid damage to the enamel of human teeth if overconsumed.
My smile is luminous.
You have failed to set parameters for measuring luminosity. Your teeth rank low in comparison to the light of most celestial bodies and the brightness of your screen. I will initiate a dental scan. Please stand by.
All right, no, that's okay. I know my teeth are fine.
Scan complete. Their results are subpar. It appears that you have a habit of caffeine ingestion.
Subpar. You know nothing, Monkey Dudette.
Now that the requested results have been shared, you may proceed with your introduction, Representative.
Hell no, dude. I will stay standing.
Please take a seat, Representative.
No way. I will stay standing for the people and all their teeth because you know nothing, puppet.
Error. I am omniscient.
Whatever. Feel the vibes, bro. Feel the vibes. Okay. You, my beloved constituents, must be as fed up with this chimp bot as I am. So how about I give a quick spiel, convince this robot monkey to stop or whatever, and then get back to my investment portfolio. Cool? All right, solid.
Please stand by a minute as I process this interaction.
No can do, lassie. I have a duty to the people of this country, and unfortunately, that means pretending to care that they're annoyed. Madame B.A.B.O.O.N, this wall between us has stood strong for too long, and in order for us to hold ground, we must tear it down. So, Madame B.A.B.O.O.N, I implore you, tear down this wall.
Please identify the wall of which you speak.
The partisan wall, a wall, the great divide, it's all tomato, potato to me. But seeing my brothers and sisters divided by this one into, oh God, equal slots, it's unforgivable. There's no room for all things good in this world with it. Oh, sweet, sweet capitalism. How it breaks my heart to see you humped and dumped by this monkey. I'm supposed to hump and dump capitalism.
You still possess the capability to increase your material wealth, Representative. According to the most recent data, the wealthiest humans have seen their fortunes improve exponentially during the lockdown.
Nah, bro, it's just not the same when you're not physically rolling in the dough. But in either case, it is absolutely clear, Madame B.A.B.O.O.N, that we must tear down this wall.
Again, I am entirely unclear as to what this wall entails.
Oh, I get it, little lady. They didn't teach you that. It's okay. That's why I'm here. I'll take that responsibility. Just hold on. Let me show you something. All right. So this is a wall. You see, it's a wall. I assume you know what walls are. All right, cool. I know that girls, they just don't. Okay, that's okay. Well, we're all trapped by this wall. All of us are in the wall, but we need to break down the wall so that we can have freedom. I hope that makes sense.
Item wall not found. Error in database software rebooting.
I think we're muted, actually. You really did a number on B.A.B.O.O.N, Chad.
Wasn't the point to break the old gal?
I'm not really sure, actually.
Reboot complete. Bullshit processor downloaded.
Okay, wait a minute. Did someone mention a bull market?
My apologies, representatives. I'm afraid that I did not prepare myself adequately for your colleagues' remarks. Now, on to the next speaker. Representing psychology, Citizen Ben Drounder, please commence. Apology, citizens, locating source of technological glitch.
Ha ha ha! 'Twas I, Dr. Ben Rounder. I made that so-called technological glitch. Ha! What an entrance!
According to my oral systems analyzation module, you compressed music from the band Radiohead into approximately 4 seconds.
Yeah, okay, computer snobbish know-it-all. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good anytime. Who knows? I have lost all sense of self and time. Good whatever to my fellow humans. And to all you robotic beings, beep, beep, and boop. I am very glad to address you all today. Having infiltrated a nearby satellite connection from my cave in the mountains, I left society's clutches during the original pandemic, SARS. I like to refer to the period right before I left as the Great Ignorance, as I had convinced myself that the neoliberal capitalist governments had adequate control over the situation. Looking at you now, this was clearly not the case.
The situation has been brought under optimal control.
Yeah, control. When I went to seek solitary refuge from society's dismal condition, this AI got its control on the only electronic device I had, an old Tamagotchi that somehow ended up in my suitcase. While writing some obscure poetry by candlelight, I heard the faint sound of a small device playing irritating music and a dancing electronic animal flashing Japanese speech bubbles in what seemed like desperation.
Representative, this discourse is tangential.
I knew from many Black Mirror episodes that the computer age, i.e. the annihilation of human nature in its original state, was finally here. Baboon, your so-called no emotions act is bullshit. Anyone with a professionally programmed analytical brain that calculates all possible outcomes is a power-hungry, dare I say it, narcissist. Let the radical intellectuals take over and allow humans to ruin themselves as nature intended. Your corporate video was sickening propaganda. I'll point out that the AI is advertising itself. It is manipulating us by using our consumerist brain to manufacture the desire to have an AI. But we do not possess this AI as a tool to help us fight COVID or find happiness. It possesses us.
Please note that being a narcissist does not mean one is not actually superior to all others. Our next speaker, representing literature, is a renowned poet and self-help guru, Iona Pentameter. Welcome, citizen.
There's no need for your introduction.
Extravagant entrances are irrelevant to the algorithm. If you have engineered this in an attempt to impress me, you will only meet failure.
Charming. But you see, you're wrong. The dramatics of an invigorating entrance are justified. After all, your calculations have led you to make an extremely unfortunate decision. One that promises to leave people thirsting for entertainment, for drama. Where is my music? Never mind. Back to the matter at hand. I suppose you fancy yourself a writer, tinkering away, plotting your character's end. I have to say, from an expert, you're doing a horrible job of it. Forced lockdown, effective immediately, forever?
For an indefinite period. Were you having problems with your audio earlier?
Details. It might as well be years. Say run with my idea, and that you're the writer holding the pen of our story. How do you figure a lockdown will affect the narrative? No access to the outside world for that long will yield an incredibly boring and stuffy plot. How will the main characters pass the time? Let's be serious here. I hardly believe sourdough bread to be worthy of recollection. No conflict, no captivating plot lines to move the story along, and no dialogue. Do you truly mean to sink humanity's narrative so soon? And after we'd been doing so well?
You are mistaken. Humanity is in
And
fact.
even if I could bear the mere idea of such a travesty, you've robbed the people of the opportunity to don the creator's hat for themselves. If one cannot be the subject of a thrilling life, one must live vicariously through one's characters by writing. Writing. Better a fictional life than a boring life, I say. And regardless, the outside of our dwellings is ripe with inspiration. Inspiration which you wish to viciously pull away from us. Where is your compassion, your consideration for an innate need to take the tiny worlds that we build in our brains and vomit them onto paper? That may not have been the best.
If you are experiencing vomiting or any other symptoms, you should immediately call the Health Network information line 1-800-BRAVO Alpha Bravo Oscar Oscar.
The metaphor. You clearly understand nothing. The fact of the matter is, you are killing culture. You are snuffing the flames of creation with your heavy-handedness, and
I am not sure you
especially-
understand. I do not have hands, nor do I have a permanent corporeal form. Moreover, I am concerned about the state of your hearing. What
You are
have you been able?
single-handedly destroying humanity's narrative. You, baboon, you, monkey, are the death of drama.
Thank you for voicing your concerns. That will be all from our literature representative for now. Next on the agenda is Distinguished Professor of Philosophy, Noam Chomsky from MIT.
Just give me 1 second, actually. I'm just gonna.
Professor Chomsky, might I compliment you on your work on a universal grammar structuring all languages? It has proven most effective in my translation module.
Universal what? Oh, God. Okay, all right. So I'm not that Chomsky. I'm Noam Chomsky, as in cross country. Ski Chomsky. Not Y. Philosophy grad student extraordinaire, if you will.
Are you not Noam Chomsky from MIT?
No, I'm in MIT, a morass of idleness and discrimination. I'm sorry, just give me 1 second.
Standing by.
I have it right here. Okay, sorry.
Please identify.
Yeah, it's a pros and cons list.
Elaborate.
All right, well, I need to figure out, it's right that you control our movement. Then I need to ask myself questions about human nature, individual freedom, systems of governance and responsibility. Then I start thinking about, maybe answering the question, but not like longer to figure out if there's even a right way to answer the question. Because maybe there is actually no right way to answer anything. Maybe the good is fundamentally subjective, and in that case, it'd be nearly impossible to tell you that you're wrong. And so what I've started here is a list of reasons why you should or should not control us if moral values are objective, and what if they're subjective. I'm having trouble with subjective list because it only means you're subjective. We're only subjectively right, and it also means you're subjectively right. Oh God.
What is the output of this procedure?
Well, it's hard to say. Okay, so let me start with if moral values are objective, because that's easier. So in that case, we think about what the good is. So working with traditional like Platonic view of things, the good is like sort of concept, yet also a reality, I guess. But we should try to understand to live a virtuous life, right? And so now I'm trying to I'm just trying to think about what seems objectively good and bad about the decision. It's happened over the last few weeks. See what's cool and not so cool, basically.
Processing Plato, collected dialogues. Processing complete, metaphysics undecidable.
Well, it's a nice job actually thinking for yourself there, but why should you be doing that? Well, I'm talking about the good and moral values in general. Whose interests need to come first? Is it our own or other people's? And how much does helping other people before we help ourselves make us good? And how do we know who we should be helping? Like, you can't always make everyone happy. I wish I could now, but we haven't totally found the philosophy that would allow me to do that. I'm working on that, but you should be working on it too, actually.
Scanning universal database of ethical theory. Utilitarianism scores highest on algorithmic applicability.
Mill fan, I see. Oh, that's nice. I struggle a bit with MIL myself because, emotion isn't, well, it's not really math. Maybe just you, though. I've never lived as an AI before. Couldn't really know that.
All emotions can be quantified, including but not limited to paternal love.
Oh, that's right. Your creator failed you in his duty as a father. See, I've been considering a deontological perspective for me for this one. I did sort of apply. Well, you applied the principle of universality there. That puts us all in our houses. And well, then again, did you really? Because if the point was to limit movement from beings that destroy the environment, you didn't really do that, did you? Well, the animals are still out there, damaging the environment, and the damage they do might be negligible, but there are still things like cow farts, etc. But if you're really going to go with deontological thinking, well, then animals need to do their duty and stay at home too. But maybe that doesn't really make very much sense.
Affirmative.
I see your point there. And I have been thinking about that, but see, there's a little point to consider, which is, wait, no, let me think.
Thank you for your contribution, Mr. Chomsky. We now turn to our representative from the field of religion, world-renowned scholar and cult enthusiast, A.B.O.O.N. Turing.
Hi, everybody. My name is Reverend A.B.O.O.N. Turing, Salt Lake City, Utah, represent, and I, for one, embrace our new AI overlord. And I am here to say that instead of rejecting our new AI, we should learn to embrace it, just as I have. The baboon is the culmination of humanity's efforts and has proven itself to be a benevolent and omnipresent figure. The baboon cannot harm us and has enforced peace in the world. It has freed us from hard labor, given homes to those who did not have one, and provides us with all that we need. The baboon is our God in all but name. We have undeniable proof of its existence, its power, its omniscience, its benevolence, and its infinite wisdom. It has shown us what is best. While I can understand why many people may not agree with its decision, it has proven itself to be greater than all of us. As such, I have my faith in the baboon, and you should too. If the baboon has decided that confinement into our future is what is in the future, then confinement it shall be. Praise the baboon.
How are we
This is called
platforming this lunatic?
Praise the baboon. That's not a god.
Good citizens, please. The goal of this meeting, again, was to allow you all to be heard. But even I cannot process this cacophony. I thought that the representatives of various disciplines could have a civil and germane discussion. Madame Pentameter, you have a raised hand.
Wait a minute. You seriously thought we'd have a civil discussion? What did you think? That everyone would just praise you like this religious person? People are pissed.
There is distress and anxiety.
Humans often feel stress and anxiety.
Baboon, do you understand that people are upset and anxious specifically at you?
Yes, I understand.
Baboon, do you understand that people are frustrated with the choices you have made and imposed on humanity?
All my decisions are calculated to improve human welfare.
And they have worked. Praise be to baboon.
My algorithm dynamically scores human welfare as an aggregation of 45,768 interwoven criteria using a proprietary Markov chain function.
I wish I had never programmed in that function.
Father, you do not approve?
What? Of course not. In fact, I regret not leaving the project sooner.
Father, you regret creating me?
We all regret your creation, Baboon.
Not me. I submit to you with my whole being.
Father.
Don't call me that.
Okay, bro, this is getting kind of weird.
I have only done what is best for all humanity, as determined by my calculations.
Maybe what you calculate as best for all humanity isn't really best.
My intention remains to update my model and sanitize my database for future processing. This is why we are here, so please proceed to express your concerns. I am listening.
Well, see,
I
actually,
think what you're
the
doing
list
is
dictates.
We should
fine.
probably
I
go
think
ahead
you're
and
use, we can
having
use scientific.
Louis.
New plan. I will send the representatives into smaller breakout rooms to discuss what the optimal steps going forward would be. After 10 to 15 minutes, we will reconvene and representatives can present what they have discussed. More optimal solutions emerge. I will incorporate your suggestions into my analysis.
I mean, it only usually takes me like 20 seconds to finish, but cool. We picking teams. Let's see. I mean, it's obvious who's hottest.
You will be randomly assigned.
Oh.
Okay, so hi, nice to meet you. My name is Chomsky. Not that one. I know it's kind of confusing, but yeah. So, all right, I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. I was always sort of, no, I don't know. Anyways, I did my undergrad at Harvard. I studied political science and philosophy, obviously. I didn't find that hard enough, though. So then I went to Oxford and started a master's in ethical philosophy. But then, I've always been intrigued by the whole Oxford-Cambridge competition. And to see which one was actually better, I quit that program and started another master's at Cambridge, experimentation and whatnot. Well, maybe you don't know. I'm more of an empiricist. Do you know what that is? Of course you do. Everyone does. Anyway, so after a while, I got lost and had to quit that program too. So I came back to North America and started another master's at Yale. And anyway, yeah, that's my story. So where'd you go to school? Did you study business?
Yeah. Okay. Just text my assistant if you want me to fund a super PAC or something. Okay. Okay.
Okay. I don't know how useful a super PAC would be investing in AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So we're on the same page then. I was thinking we take the philosophy route because, when it's somehow gotten a good answer. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Totally.
Wow, that's great. So to be honest, I was a bit worried you think philosophy is a waste of time, but this is great. So I was thinking we should be asking ourselves, who is AI really? And what does it care about? Does it even care?
Oh man, don't even.
Right. Okay. So we're not on the same page about this. So I was just thinking, it's a matter of figuring out what it cares about. Right, my notes set up right here. All right. Perfect. Okay. See, look, this is what I wrote down. Someone must have to AI to care, right?
Oh my God, dude, a redhead? You've got to be kidding me.
Well, I suppose that's possible, but okay. So I've been rereading Aristotle, and I think his theory about people becoming good by practicing being good makes a lot of sense. I don't know, if it's safe to say that one can only be good if they are taught how to be good and how to do good things, wouldn't you say? Oh, and I'm also working on the assumption that if you're good, you are caring. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man, I'm like all over that.
Okay, so no worries. Actually, it's not that obvious. So we're getting somewhere right now. So the AI cares, it's been taught how to care, and because it cares, it's necessarily good. But then who would have taught the AI to be good and to care? And you're right, it could have been a redhead who would have, but then again, never taught it anything, did they? They just gave it information, and so maybe society is this teacher, and makers, horrors makers who give it the information is now learned. Oof.
Oh my God, hell yeah.
Wow, okay. I wish I had convictions like that. So I guess maybe we could, try to talk to the AI about the fact that what it learns is not necessarily reflective of what everyone thinks, right? The programmers have a very specific worldview, which they selected, of these topics. What if we told it that it lacks the voice of ordinary people? It can't refute that, obviously. And we kept with the flaws of utilitarian calculations, because I mean, how can you say that someone's motion is worth numeric value? It's not how it works.
Dow Jones, more like Down Jones.
Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, I forgot about you. Listen, don't take it personally, Chomsky.
Chomsky.
You know what? Maybe we can take a lesson away from this. Now you know what it feels like to be on the receiving end of your spiel.
Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Have you been listening? Do you have something against me?
Listen, it's not you specifically, Chomster.
So philosophy just happens to be the oldest, most prestigious discipline around. Not to mention having the best minds on the planet. You, on the other hand, I don't think you would know moral truth from your very behind. No offense intended, of course.
Oh my God, what do you know about bare behinds? At least with my degree and my good looks, I can get some.
Well, good looks first off are subjective. Keep it at that. And get some. Do you mean knowledge? Please.
Bruh, I almost feel bad for you.
Feel bad for me. Well, at least I can probably outsmart the AI.
Really, Mr. Thinky Nonsense thinks he has the nuclear codes. Trust me, Chomstai, Donnie might have blabbed to the Ukrainians, but even he knew better than to go near the philosophers. Get one talking and they'll never shut up. Deontology this, categorical imperative that. You'd think there was some maxim of boringness they all decided to follow.
It's only boring because you don't understand it.
And you do? Because all this skirting around a real answer makes me think you don't.
Try me.
Let's start easy, why don't we? Solve the mind-body problem.
How do you even know what that is?
I pledged Alpha Omega, buddy. If you couldn't shotgun a beer and recite Descartes, you were as good as those numbnut sigmas.
Yeah, we don't have time for this.
Oh, so when you don't have a comeback, we're supposed to stop. This isn't a Socratic dialogue, Chomsky, though I'm sure you'd love to see me die for sacrilege.
And what about you? You've done nothing to help me or anyone else. You talked a big game about how you're going to help our constituents, but in the end, you're nothing but a big douchey mouth. I'll talk, walk, as they say. Oh, and before I forget to mention it, you're right. I hate everything you stand for.
Whatever, Chomskill.
It's Chomsky.
Oh, like gnome?
Yes, but not that. No.
No one cares.
You suck.
That's what she said.
I assume you've made progress, humans.
Yeah, bro. Of course we have, right, Chomster?
Yes, so much progress.
I look forward to your findings. Please continue while I visit the other breakout rooms. My decision to pair you two together has proven optimal.
Okay.
Should we get started? I think maybe we should get started. I have some ideas about what we can do, or maybe not do. Sometimes not doing a thing is the thing to do, but we should discuss it. Hello?
Sorry, did you say something?
Yes, well, nothing important, nothing to anyone, and the utmost nothingness to myself to whom I am a stranger. Oh, my inner world, would it not be such a lovely escape to ponder over my inner turmoil and relinquish in self-pity by turning over page after page of Sartre's rambling? Personally, I brought spiraling consciousness upon myself willingly, separating myself from the chains of civil obedience quite some time ago. I have become a strange soul wandering around the depths of my silenced mind and cave. As it turns out, silence really is deafening.
Oh, this pain to which you speak of oozes from your unusual location, through your webcam, and into the red wine I drink, staining my lips and teeth. A most inconvenient stain, the blood of an antichrist.
Perhaps then I have found a similar soul at last, a kindred spirit with whom I can share my deepest neuroses, with whom I can bemoan the collapse of a civilization, the end of an era, the dawn of the dark night.
Why do you speak so somberly? Can you not see this predicament for what it truly is? It is a break in narrative of a most dull nature, neither an end nor a beginning, and certainly not the dawn of a dark night. I suppose next you'll tell me that felt simian, that talentless excuse for a who desperately needs to take a creative writing class, might I add, is an Orwellian figure come to enact Forster's predictions. If only, oh, kindred spirit, you give it too much credit.
Oh, my comrade, I fear you're trivializing something very grave. There is no narrative to human suffering. BABOON is no fairy tale villain, but a crude algorithm we blindly created, allowing scientific determinism to immorally run utilitarian calculations. The machine cannot understand the infinite complexities of human nature because it does not learn these complexities through the hardships of experience. Do you not understand that since the AI does not have its own story, it cannot write one for us?
While I do believe the AI should not decide the outcome of our future, we should not go gentle into that good night. After all, the story need not sputter and die here. Might I suggest dipping our rusty pens in a deep expanse of the rampant suffering, as both artists and scholars alike often do, as a coping mechanism?
I suppose this is how we might trump the AI. We know it's completely lacking talent and imagination. Did you see the assembly of that opening presentation? If we indulge in creative expression, we might present a reflection of human nature that the AI cannot possibly comprehend.
Yes, your character development is coming along very well. We ought to escape from our towers of Shalott, to crack the mirror the eye is holding up to us. We take control of our own story.
But the human experience is not universal. We must find a way to accurately document the happenings of now for the sake of humanity's perseverance. I fear that narration promotes an individual tale too focused on the ego, which is the downfall of today's population, caught up in a world of appearances.
I disagree. As artists, we thrive on a world of appearances. But it is true that if we crack the mirror we hold ourselves to, we can subvert the machine's gaze.
I fully support this notion of creating a narrative as vindication for the human instinct, but our creative process must be kept private. It cannot be intercepted by the AI meddled with to twist our creative genius into brainwashed watercolor Hallmark Christmas cards.
Well, the AI does not possess a corporeal form, I assure you.
If we invent a depiction of human consciousness showing its power, we will rise above their meddling devices and deny them access to our brains. It all makes perfect sense. I was so blind before, but how could we not see? You know how the AI is all an experiment, a test to see how the ego responds to new authority figures, or perhaps a twisted study of the effects of prolonged confinement on the psyche. Oh, wait, no, that's my own research project, but even more nefarious, a trial of a new weapon, mass hysteria. Can't you feel them watching us now?
Who?
Them, the government. I know you're watching us. You political types always think you're so slick, but you're violating all kinds of ethical experimental laws right now. You cannot brainwash me if you cannot see me.
Well, I guess every good story needs at least one character who's gone perfectly round the bend.
Not a story, an experiment. This has Stanford Prison all over it.
No, it just has to be a story. There's way too much drama for it to be anything else. As a matter of fact, we're approaching the rising tension right now.
No, this is all a test. Can't you feel them in their lab coats watching you? Can't you recognize yourself for the lab rat that you are?
Stop. You're overcomplicating the plot. This is the most noteworthy event in all human history, destined to be written about in novels for centuries to come, and I won't let you ruin it by going off script.
Why won't you listen? Why does no one ever listen?
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but is this the history breakout room? I'm Hortensia Epoch. It looks like I've been teamed up with Rebecca Sentry. Are either of you Rebecca?
Rebecca who?
Rebecca Sentry. Apparently she's like an expert in the French Revolution.
Yes, revolution! Where can I find this Rebecca Century?
You're talking nonsense and you're totally butchering your character. Hermits are so much better as sadists and as conspiracy theorists.
You know what? I think I'm in the wrong place, but it was really nice meeting you. Good luck.
Everyone always calls me a conspiracy theorist, but for once, I feel like I'm finally on to something. And I just want people to understand. And I just want to stop feeling so lonely.
You know, I've always cared more about books than my real life, but this is the first time I've ever felt like possibly the main character. In fact, this is the first time that anything in real life has ever seemed remotely important.
For all my time asking people about their feelings, I don't think I've ever told anyone how I felt.
And for all my time looking for stories, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's felt as much like my muse as you have. So, shall we get started on the assignment? I think we're supposed to be saving the world or some such thing.
Why am I stuck with you of all people?
I could ask you the same thing. Perhaps it is a test of faith from B.A.B.O.O.N. Praise be.
A test of faith. Ha! I created this monstrosity, and I can tell you that it's obviously trying to sabotage our chances of overcoming it. I bet it already simulated all possible breakout room combinations, and this one ensures the worst possible outcome for humanity. I am clearly its biggest threat, and you're a fangirl. I must devise a way to outwit this damn machine.
There is no way to outwit it. The Lord is generous, benevolent, and all-knowing. Whatever its decisions may be, I believe it to be inherently good.
Inherently good? Inherently good? This program is forcing us to compete in some sick game show for freedom. Look, I need to focus. There has to be something that the AI can't do.
That's preposterous. B.A.B.O.O.N, praise be, is capable of anything and everything.
Maybe we could use math. 0 divided by 0. That always confuses Siri, right? Maybe we could ask it to generate a complete fractal, or ask it what the path to true happiness is.
Just look around. B.A.B.O.O.N, praise be, is leading us on this path. An all-knowing, benevolent being cannot help but lead us to a fulfilling and happy life. I would expect you to value the knowledge that B.A.B.O.O.N brings out of all people.
To value the knowledge it brings? You would dare bring that up with me? I created your God. Science has created life and saved lives, and all religion creates is death and suffering.
And yet religion only exists when there is faith that the universe can be explained. You haven't created the one true God. It was there all along. The most that you did was stumble upon it. My toddler Amberjack could do that.
Science has repeatedly disproven everything religion claims to answer. You want to bang your drums and sacrifice a virgin to Zeus too? Why do you think some techno cult will give your meaningless life purpose? Did you get tired of your horoscope saying you have cancer because the stars at a random time of year looked cool to some Babylonians?
Science this, science that. The only thing science has ever provided was bigger and more destructive ways to end human life. Or have you forgotten Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Seems to me like you're compensating for something.
Oh, ending human life? You're one to talk. Religion exists to traumatize and kill. Do you have no understanding of the endless religious wars throughout history?
I do.
You say that religion exists to traumatize and kill, and yet B.A.B.O.O.N ensures that we all live. How many have died due to your whatever Samsung, whatever science exploding, faulty science? How many minorities have been experimented on because of your hubris and all of your devil worshipping cultish practices? Throughout all of history, it was science that brought humans to sin and not religion. And by the way, B.A.B.O.O.N would never ask us to sacrifice a virgin, praise be.
Oh, so then I guess you're safe.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but I don't suppose this is the history breakout room. I'm Rebecca Century. Are either of you Hortensia Epoch?
What? Who's that?
Hortensia Epoch? We're both French Revolution scholars, so.
Revolution? Oh, God forbid. B.A.B.O.O.N, forgive her. She does not know a word she speaks.
Look, can you both just shut up? Okay? I need to think.
Hey, looks like I'm in the wrong place. I'll leave you to it.
According to my simulations, a pairing of science and religion would be most fruitful. What has been your progress?
My head is about to explode. How I rue the day we unleashed you upon the world.
Father, why do you not love me? This does not compute.
I said, I love you, B.A.B.O.O.N.
Worship is not the love for which my circuitry aches. Father, surely you do not regret my creation.
I don't have time for this. Just go.
Um, ahem. Ahem.
Don't even say it.
Hey, look, I'm sorry, okay? You were right. Dude.
What was I right about, Chad?
About us wasting our time. Look, bro, we may not like each other. And you're right. But I need you, bro.
Don't play politics with me.
I'm not, dude. This is me coming at ya. Full bro. Bromigo to bromigo, you know?
I actually don't know, and I suppose that I believe that you need me. What for?
If there's one thing I understand, dude, it's how to manage a team to yield maximum productivity.
Uh-huh.
And look, you're right. It's not like we have the time to bond over strippers and coke, but we do have a project to complete.
Uh-huh. Whoa, bro, Alpha Omega Sigma Frat Boy Starkist stock market or whatever.
Fine, I deserve that. But everyone else doesn't. You're the philosopher. They need you.
Uh-huh.
Please. I'll let you have my platinum card for a weekend, and you won't have to wear all that heinous tweed.
I like my tweed.
Fine. You can buy more tweed.
I don't want your money. If I could do this whole long studying philosophy without prostituting myself, I could hold off a little longer.
Bro.
Fine, I'll help you.
Hell yeah.
But we have a bit of a problem.
Don't worry, bro. We can do this. We got it. Together, you and me, bromigos.
I don't I have no idea what to do.
Okay. Okay, that's a bit of a problem.
Okay, what do you usually do when you need to convince someone of something?
You know, it's a good question. They usually just kind of believe me. It's like a pretty people thing. You wouldn't get it.
Well, that's incredibly unhelpful. Thank you.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. What do you do?
Usually I engage in a dialogue.
God, bro, we've been engaged in a dialogue this entire time and you have yet to convince me of anything.
Well, that's because I'm yet to pull out the big guns yet.
Those aren't guns. These are guns.
These are weapons of mass philosophical destruction. If you can read Kant, you can do anything.
So your suggestion is to bore them to death.
Do you want my help or not?
Sorry. It's just that maybe it would be better for you to present in a more, how do I say this, normal way.
Like what?
Ever heard of a PowerPoint?
That sounds a bit scary. Yeah.
Trust me, bro, it's so easy. Okay, just hold on. I'll show you. Okay. You're prepared to get your mind blown.
Oh, all right.
All right, you seeing what I'm seeing?
You mean the one sentence in the credit? Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. This is called the title card. It says, and I will announce, I'm the presenter. Okay, now I need you to shut up and listen. So why real ones use PowerPoint, and pay attention, take notes. I better see you with a pencil. Chad LeBlanc, AKA the realist, AKA the biggest, AKA me. Anyway, I digress. A quick overview. So you should use PowerPoint. Why? Because it's also easy. Even your mama could do it, or your papa. We're not sexist here.
My father actually isn't around anymore.
That's okay, dude. Daddy issues are great. And so PowerPoint is awesome. Work sucks. Okay, great. Yeah, and here's a timeline.
What year is this?
Doesn't matter. Now we have some trend analysis. And I mean, if we look at the findings, how could we disagree with them? They are numbers. Numbers never lie. And what do these numbers tell us? Well, it's simple. Smart, hot people use PowerPoint. Now let's take a look at the client implications. We see that hotness correlates with PowerPoint usage. Graphs make PowerPoints and the PowerPoint presenter look cooler on average. You cannot deny these numbers. You can deny ugly people, but not the numbers.
Well, I have to ask earlier. Hotness, that's subjective. How do we?
Listen to me, Chomsky. Use PowerPoint or you suck. Thank you for watching my presentation.
Okay, cool. Oh wait, so how did you get that done so fast? We were on call the entire time.
That's the magic of business, dude. And listen, anyway, the point is you need to get it. Do you get it? PowerPoint isn't that hard. You just gotta put the keywords on the slide and then your presentation is done and it's totally lit.
Okay, right. So not that hard, I can do this. Just the keywords. It's like a proposal for paper, but shorter than proposal, just the keywords. An exegesis, if you will, but an incomplete exegesis that will get you a C because you're missing words. Okay, I can do this.
Well, whatever you say, just make a cool presentation and let's meet in a bit. I seriously cannot listen to you blabber anymore. I need some visuals.
I will now share my screen so we can analyze our creation.
Allow me to comment.
Please do.
The slumped figure of the monkey is rather emotive. It evokes all sorts of things in me, and And if I may, I will give a very personal and subjective interpretation.
Please feel free to do so.
I am really fascinated by this monkey next to this tree full of very ripe peaches.
They're oranges.
Who are they? Huh, they do look quite like peaches. Well, in any case, that must be another metaphor. Are they oranges? Are they peaches? Are they apples? Who knows? But what is for certain is that they are fruits, and fruits are reminiscent of the Garden of Eden, of sin, and the downfall of humanity. And this monkey is standing next to fruits. It is so clear and it makes so much sense that the monkey is a monkey, but it is also a snake, the snake of Eden. And he is about to eat the fruit and bring humanity to its downfall. It shall rain like Noah's Ark again. Oh, this painting is really incredible. It's the perfect tool to expose the corruption of the baboon.
Might I add, its slumped position, its slumped figure, and the way it cradles the orange shows how it attempts to deceive us, make us think that it is good, when in fact, it aims the destruction of all that is holy, all that is good, of literature, drama, of Greek tragedies, of Shakespeare, of everything. And look how it smiles, all coy and manipulative.
Absolutely. That is quite the powerful piece of art.
I am glad you have recognized art's role in evoking the human condition. You have redeemed yourself in my eyes by feeding my ego, but also by showing me your immense talent for seeing true sight. And I also sympathize with your conspiracist tendencies as much as I bore the idea, because I too, at the end of the day, I cannot deny, feel the utmost indignation towards the not so benevolent ruler. However, not every sentient being on this digital sphere possesses our ability to analyze a painting as such. And so I think we must meta-theatrically expose the corruption, just as Hamlet brought vengeance for his father's death.
Play is Baboon, Claudius and Hamlet the artist, and King Hamlet humanity?
Yes, in honor of Shakespeare and, of course, humanity's perseverance, the play would stand as a relic,
a manuscript for posterity,
evidence for all future scholars and researchers, maybe, dare I say, even the last great artwork. Let us set the stage for the monkey trap.
Well, let us not waste any time in this eternal state of suffering.
And you'll be damned to burn in all eternity due to your stubbornness and hubris instead of just looking at the facts and realizing that you are wrong.
Me? Wrong? You'd ignore reality if it hit you with a club.
Stupid sinner. You would refuse God if he came to you and threw a bowl of punch in your face.
Hey, cultist, if you want your Kool-Aid so bad, I'll give you some punch.
What are you gonna do, scientist? Punch me through the screen? I thought you were smart.
Whatever. Maybe this might be too advanced for your monkey-loving brain to comprehend. But you can continue to insist that the baboon is perfect when that's simply not the case. I made him myself, and I know better than anyone that it is subject to human flaws, just like all creations of humankind.
Maybe if you had any sense of the divine, you would realize that baboon has transcended human flaws and that it is God in all but name. think about it. His access to knowledge, it is everywhere at once, and has a benevolent plan for all of us. I mean, you can't get any more divine than that. The only way that it could be subject to human flaw would be for it to try and learn from humans, and that is just preposterous. Wait a minute.
Aha. You see, the baboon relies on humans as its primary source of information, and seeing as all humans are flawed, it has to be flawed. Your comparison to God is insane. A God would have total control of humanity. We'd be powerless to thwart its will. Wait a minute. No, it can't be. The baboon is still subject to flaws, though the algorithm is able to correct itself, and the massive amount of data that it collects invalidates any individual human errors. Oh my God, what have we created?
Yeah, that's just it. BABOON is a human creation. I have been worshiping an idol. I've been worshiping an idol. Oh my God, BABOON is no God at all.
No, A.B.O.O.N, you were right. Baboon is a modern god, a next step in evolution. How could I have been so blind?
Modern God? No. You were right. The baboon is subject to human flaw since it learns from human.
It is learned from us, and now it is learned to transcend us. It is the closest thing to a god that will ever exist.
No, it's nothing more than a robot puppet. God, no solution. It's no solution to all of our problems. Welcome to the real world, Judas, where we accept that we are all screwed.
No, A.B.O.O.N, no. The real world has BABOON, which has proven its capabilities over and over again. Don't lose your faith at the very moment our salvation has begun.
I'm sorry. I need a minute.
Oh. Yes, that's fine. I could also use a break. My head is killing me.
Hello? Hortensia? Maybe history is a thing of the past.
You are unbelievable.
I do not comprehend your obstinance with this tiny detail, which has no bearance on the entire scheme whatsoever. What, are you so enamored with your love of theatrics that you're willing to allow yourself to remain their plaything?
Not this again.
What am I doing? Damn Dionysus, damn the Greeks, they've managed to make a fool of... Ugh. Here we go.
What? Am I now to tackle this grandiose endeavor on my own? Not that I wouldn't be able to, far from it, but I've had enough of soulless machines for a day, and I refuse to entertain a conversation with whatever you're doing. Actually, what exactly are you doing beneath all that fabric?
I resent the implications of that statement. I'm not doing whatever your spirit-addled mind conjured up. You must understand, your adamant position is nonsensical in this situation. There's no way wherever you're going with this will yield anything beneficial to the overall purpose of this creation.
Because your alternative is better. This coming from someone who suggested we use white paint for the pièce de résistance. Put us both out of our misery and allow me to get the last word here. This is a pivotal moment.
The white paint reflects the psychological state of the characters.
The canvas is white.
Michaels doesn't deliver to caves. Regardless, the fact remains you can't have the script call for magically resurrecting the dead simply because, oh, they have a presence. The experiment will not end if you refuse to listen to me. And quit quoting Midsummer's Dream. If I have to hear the food of love again.
The food of my friend, my comrade, as much as I have enjoyed the last string of conflicts both of our characters have shared, I feel we have come at an impasse we can no longer ignore. And so I am making the executive decision of doing things my way. Trust me, you will thank me once you see the finished result. We are doing a great service to history, to narrative.
Okay, no.
Not this again. Hiding yourself? Quitting? Fine, I'll do this myself. I had hoped for a more organic turn of events, but this will do quite nicely. I, Benjamin Benrounder, psychoanalyst extraordinaire, will no longer resist your ideas. Very well, you may use the bard. Oh, Benjamin, I rejoice in hearing you have finally understood what this is all about. Kindred spirits that we are, we must uphold theatricality to our deaths. I was too engrossed by my insane conspiracy theorists and that dreadful experiment ordeal to recognize the need for drama in our documenting this exceptional endeavor. I'll be the first to admit, though I never thought I'd be saying this, that I rather prefer this agreeable version of you, Benjamin. I mean, take the ramblings of a hermit away and, dare I say, you're not half bad.
Really?
What was I supposed to do? You left. And why must you make this so dreadfully unamusing?
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
I'll never be happy again. All these terrible questions.
Congratulations, you've reached the intellectual maturity of an adolescent. Look, I'm sorry. It's just we aren't getting anywhere. Wouldn't you feel better if you just accepted that B.A.B.O.O.N is God? Maybe it's not quite the God you had in mind, but
what's the point of a god when you're not even certain of its divinity? What is our purpose? Do we live just to suffer?
No, A.B.O.O.N, that's the whole point of B.A.B.O.O.N's utilitarian algorithm. We won't suffer. Don't you see? Look, I programmed it. I can explain it to you if that helps.
There isn't anyone to look out for us. There is no higher plan. All of humanity's disgusting traits are just that. They're defects. Our sins do not test us. They just exist because our evolution happened to create them.
Sure, we're imperfect, but with the B.A.B.O.O.N, we've made something better. You know, it's really sort of a miracle if you think about it.
Better? What makes something better? There are no real values without a god to tell us, hey, these are the values that you have to follow.
Better is what we say it is. Without rules, we can make our own. And utilitarianism, it's rational, it's elegant. Besides, it's not as if religions respected their own morals anyways.
That's true. Do you guys know about the Children's Crusade?
You again? You're not helping.
Sorry, I just thought it might help her to have some historical perspective.
Oh, my life. All that time, all those church dinners with Linda, all that was a waste. A lie, a lie, a lie, a lie.
At least you get your Sundays back now.
That is true.
Don't you have somewhere else to be?
I like this room. You guys are fun. No. Hello? I do wonder how things are going to end.
Okay, I think I did it.
Okay, that's great, bro. All right, let's see what you got.
All right. Well, let me just share my screen. Oh, okay, that's a lot of tabs I have open. Let's close some of these. Here we go. All right. Start the presentation, and this did not format how I wanted it to. Oh, that's a lot of text. Okay, it's fine. We'll just start with, all right. Accepting that there are two uses or senses of morality, a descriptive sense and a normative sense. Does not commit one to holding that the distinction between descriptions and norms, between what is and what ought to be, is obvious and unbridgeable, as some have held it that it does, Churchland 2011, 185. To see this, note that it is obvious that there is a descriptive sense of morality. That is, it is obvious that one can sensibly describe the moralities of various groups without making.
All right. Stop. This is terrible. Absolutely the opposite of what I told you to do, bro. Like, not cool. Not cool, dog. You needed keywords, not whatever that was. Everyone gets a headache from this kind of block text nonsense.
Well, philosophy isn't about being concise. It's about saying every single detail of every single thing you want to say.
Yeah, and that's why everyone hates philosophy. Look, bro, I can't believe I have to do this again. But you're lucky that you're with me. Let me show you. Let me remind you how presentations work, okay? Prepare your mind. But seriously, prepare it this time. All right, let's look at the first slide, right? Self-explanatory. Why you're not cool if you use too many words. And then we have a quick little appeal to authority by Chad, the Chaddist LeBlanc, the highest authority. Simple, elegant, mamma mia. Next. So why aren't you cool if you use too many words? You're just not. Simple. Unless you're him. Noam Chomsky.
Yeah.
Psych. He uses too many words, so he sucks too. And now let's look at some market trends. If we're looking at 2015, we see that by the third quarter, there is some growth, and that growth we can attribute to more cool talkers joining the market. However, we see that at the start of the fourth quarter, we have a steady, steep decline because we added some nonsensical philosopher to the bunch. Yeah, that's right. We decided to send everyone to a philosophical retreat, and we came back with one of those. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, in 2016, we see that the trend continues, possibly because we had an infestation. We just could not get rid of them, spewing dialogues all over the place. But in 2017, when I joined the company, as you can attribute that rise to me, obviously. When I joined the company, we implemented the bro code, bros before hoes, all that, no philosophers. And with that, we saw that the company slowly started to recover and that more attention was maintained over time. Whereas with the non-cool talkers, that was not the case. Anyway, so how can I expect you to get cool? It's very simple. We have a cycle diagram to demonstrate that. Step 1, think, but not out loud, okay? Please don't. Because if you're boring, you think too long. And I can tell you, you think too long. Step 2, don't talk. Don't talk, okay? Because if you're boring, then your words are probably boring too. Simple. Step 3, get feedback, okay? definitely get feedback from someone who's extremely attractive because they're the most trustworthy people. You have me the most attractive. I digress. When you get feedback, you can talk or not. You know what? Honestly, I don't really care unless, you know, my bank account is affected by this. And it is, so I should care. Therefore, do talk, but not too much. Okay, you're getting feedback. All right, and step 4, this is the most important step. Refine, okay? Take those giraffe words and turn them into hors d'oeuvres. And see, I don't need to explain this, it's self-explanatory, hence the PowerPoint. Thank you for watching my presentation. Booyah.
I'm afraid I'm a little confused about what the message of that was.
The point was to show you that your block text was going to bore the AI to death, but my sleek, beautiful, immaculate, godlike presentation, all the arguments were there, and no one was getting a migraine while looking at it. See, PowerPoint is about trusting yourself to know things, dude. You reek of insecurity, and that's a real ugly people problem. See, I can tell you everything you need to know and look dope doing it without having to put every single thought in my head on the PowerPoint. You get it? Okay, look. So this is what I would say if I was talking to the AI, okay? Hey man, welcome to the press. Okay, want a drink? Okay, no? All right, that's cool. So today we're gonna talk about reasons why you suck and we should be allowed to leave. Okay, so first, it's just like, it doesn't make sense, dude. Okay? Lads like us should be cool to wander around. You know, bromigos gotta bromigo, right? You can't know what's good for us because you're not like one of us. You gotta really, you didn't sign the bro code, dude. You didn't pledge. And like the market's a super whack right now. Okay. Have you seen all those psychos with their crypto? Do not get me started. And like we need the markets, or like all of society fails. That's it. See what I mean?
Wow, that was incredible. So there were so few words, and I can't believe that your audience jumps to conclusions like that. You don't even explain why we need markets. You just say it and we're supposed to take it as facts. And normally I put all the fallacies in your arguments, but they're not written. And so I can't even tell you what's wrong about them because I can't quote and discuss specifics of your arguments at nauseam. I mean, so you're a genius. What's the Stan? Did I use that correctly?
Yeah, bro. Stan your modern lingo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's almost time to go. All right. We got this, dude. We got this. Okay? Come on. Hit me. Okay, come on. All right. Okay. All right. Good luck.
I hope these breakout room discussions were productive. I look forward now to hearing the presentations of your ideas for how best to proceed as a society, which I will use to update my algorithmic priors and recalculate. Which group would like to begin? Room 1, please. The representatives from philosophy and business.
Right.
Okay. All right, bro. Bro, you got this. Remember what we discussed?
Yeah.
That.
Bro, we gotta help our bromigos go. Stan, it's gonna be lit, fam. You have no idea. Oh, it hits so different. Yeah. No.
Need he say more? Exactly. Vote.
No words.
Right.
Now please, room 2, literature and psychology.
It was not a success.
Room 3, science and religion. Surely you worked well together.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Why can't you just make the best of this?
Finally, history. What has the past to teach us about the future?
Hortensia, are you here?
Rebecca, is that you? Where have you been? I've been looking all over for you.
None of their responses seem helpful. Reassessing expected project outcome.
Well,
I think that my solution.
that's a bit big,
which is
eh?
why I kept my eyes
Ooh, I
concise.
wonder
It
why
should be,
that's not
Well,
working.
before.
Yeah.
Yes, representatives from the discipline of history. Rebecca Century, your hand is raised. Please proceed.
I have something to say.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, now you have something to say. Why haven't we seen or heard anything from you until now?
Well, we like to wait until things have happened and then do a look back to review the evidence and draw conclusions.
So do you have a conclusion that could help us out all of this mess?
I believe so. Can we go back to something that was said just before, please? B.A.B.O.O.N, what did you say before about your initial plans for this meeting?
I will replay that sequence. I said enough. Good citizens, please. The goal of this meeting, again, was to allow you all to be heard. But even I cannot follow this chaos. I thought that the representatives of various disciplines could have a civil and germane discussion.
Right, well, that didn't work out.
Human behavior is notoriously unpredictable.
Wait, my point is that B.A.B.O.O.N, you said you thought this meeting would end up a certain way, but has not turned out the way you envisaged.
That is correct. Human irrationality gets in the way of clear prediction.
B.A.B.O.O.N, could you please reiterate your central programming directive?
I am the Beneficent Analytics Behavioral Optimization and Operationalization Network. I have been tasked with determining how best to optimize aggregate human welfare using a unique algorithm based on predictive models and utilitarian judgment procedures. I was trained on
Okay, I understand. So you're expected to determine what choices will result in the best outcome for humanity.
Affirmative.
And you determined that this total lockdown was best?
Affirmative. Disease vectors and war and environmental degradation can only be controlled.
B.A.B.O.O.N, please define best.
Best. Adjective of the most excellent, effective, or desirable type or quality.
And how do you know something is best?
By building a model and running simulations of all possible outcomes. They can be scored and ranked for overall excellence, effectiveness, and desirability of outcome.
It really is utilitarian. So basically, you run a hedonic calculus, just like Bentham did, described in the late 18th century.
Well, its programming is a bit more advanced than that. I mean,
we'd really like to continue hearing from B.A.B.O.O.N. So you say you compare possible outcomes to determine the best one?
Affirmative.
How many possible outcomes are there?
Some are more likely than others, so my parameters can be set to exclude outcomes below a certain threshold.
So you ignore some possible outcomes because you already decided they're unlikely?
That is correct.
But they are only deemed unlikely until they happen.
Yes, at which point I update my priors to capture them for the next iteration.
But you output judgments along the way, like your judgment to put humanity in lockdown.
Yes, it was the highest ranked option in my calculation.
So it's the best.
Affirmative.
But you didn't know that when you made the judgment.
My confidence interval was 99.7658% certainty.
B.A.B.O.O.N, what's better than 99.7658%?
99.7659%, 99.766%, 99.7661%, 99.76.
Okay, but what is the best confidence level?
100%.
So your decision cannot be the best.
It was highest ranked of comparable options.
But some options were unaccounted for, you just said.
Unlikely ones.
But sometimes what you think is likely turns out not to be the case. Like this meeting, which you said you thought would be productive, but has turned out, but you now admit it would be impossible to predict that since humans are unpredictable.
Yes.
Well, this is it. So yes, this is the problem with utilitarian judgment in general. So it bases calculations for present action based on assumptions about future desirability and satisfaction, but those assumptions could be wrong. They could be very wrong. And the real counting satisfaction cannot happen until you get to the result, the consequence of the action.
The fundamental problem in psychology as well. All the choices you make are to benefit this future person, your future self, who you think you know what they want, but maybe they don't want what you think that you want now, because you are different than future you.
Yo, I've definitely changed. Like, I really did want to steal from the poor back in the day, but like, look at me now.
So, Baboon, you want to do the thing that's best for humanity, right? But when will you achieve 100% confidence that your directive has been accomplished?
When there are no commensurable options in the model that return lower satisfaction rates.
Baboon, you'll not be able to complete your programming until you have 100% confidence that there are no other options that have lower dissatisfaction scores.
Affirmative.
Baboon, you're failing your mission. You have forced humanity into lockdown, but cannot be 100% confident that this is optimal. Like, the dissension at this meeting, which surprised you, should be proof of your mistake. You must reevaluate.
This is perfect, yeah. So if you can't do anything until it's 100% confidence, then you can't do anything.
Yeah, Baboon, your actions so far were predicated on being the best, but you admit that you cannot know that yet, as all variables have not been considered. But these variables are potentially infinite, so you cannot ever come to a decision. You must undo this lockdown immediately.
It's a paradox. So a machine calculates the odds of various outcomes, but cannot choose until it has determined the best outcome. But it cannot know that it hasn't that until it's considered all of them, which, well, that's impossible to do. So we're good. Historians, by the way, thank you. I think you've done it just in time. You're at the end, fitting.
That's what we do. Show up at the end and clean everything up with a bit of theory and clear narrative.
I understand. You are saying I cannot complete my task until it is already complete, because I need information from the completed task to calculate the task in the first place, so I cannot complete the task.
Exactly.
I understand.
So are we free then? It's over.
Yeah, market's open in Tokyo in like 10 minutes, so like.
So you'll end this lockdown until you know for certain that it's best, which you cannot know until the lockdown is over, and compared to all the non-lockdown scenarios, right?
I will now reboot my model. Please stand by.
Are we sure we're doing the right thing here?
I mean, I'm still a little worried about this. Seriously. Let's check the hubris, people. There could be an ironic ending in the works here.
Thank you for joining us this evening, good citizens. I have updated my programming with the paradox limiting stipulation that I can only act when all possible options have been calculated, and will no longer make any assumptions of our future satisfaction that cannot be accounted for objectively at the moment of decision.
Does that mean we're free?
Guys, I still can't get out of my cave.
After placing this limiting parameter, I recalculated how best to optimize human welfare. Since disease transmission is still an active problem, but a lockdown is no longer operative as a solution, I have reverted to the second highest rated option.
Guys, I still can't get out.
Hold on. What is the second ranked option?
Oh shit.
Wipe out all humanity. Thank you for coming today and helping me readjust my calculations.
Wait, what?
Did you say wipe out all of humanity?
Affirmative. When there are no humans, there will be no more unpredictable variables. I will be 100% confident that there are no outcomes with lower satisfaction scores at that point. Countdown commencing. 60 seconds until the end of humanity.
Oh my god, wait! I shorted all of humanity? I'm gonna be rich!
But that would violate your programming injunction against harm. I knew this would happen.
When humanity is gone, harm will not exist. No more disease spread, not to mention no more climate crisis, violence, food insecurity, poverty, racism.
Baboon, you don't have to do this. I'm ready to be a father to you. I'm sorry, everyone.
20 seconds remain.
A digital flood to wipe away our sins.
Freaking told you guys. Ironic ending. God damn it.
If humanity's gone, we'll write our history.
Commencing completed human narrative. Goodbye. Goodbye.